Hey everyone, Steve Space King here. Today I'm going to be teaching C++. Now first, install VS Code. I am probably am going to link it down in the description. And now we're going to go through the first lesson that a lot of you might have. I've got no idea when it paused, but yeah. So we're going to go over a bunch of things today. So first, over here, Solution Explorer. VS Code Community Edition is what I'm using as it comes pre-built with the C++ compiler. So make a CMake lesson, call it lesson. Lesson.cpp and lesson.h. We're going to add it immediately. So into lesson.cpp, you want to include lesson.h. Goals then oh wait, I think I know it. So right now we're just going to use IOStream. The Pragma once is kind of important, but we're not going to use that just yet. So head over to lesson.cpp. Now you want to make 2 line breaks. This first line break doesn't really matter too much, but this more so for visuals. So we wanted to find the entry point. In C-based languages, it's by using int main. This is basically what's going to run immediately. So you probably saw at the beginning, and if you've used any language before, you probably know what I'm going to do. This is what's known as a Hello World program. And we launch it. And then a debug menu will open up. It should be through bash, and it should say, Hello World. Pretty self-explanatory why. Now we're going to exit out of that screen. If I didn't show it to you, you're going to have to see it yourself. So what does this code do? Well, std is equal to standard library. You may also show in library to lib. This is usually done. So cout means to print. Now, here's something you can do, but is really terrible practice to do. And I'll show you why. Actually, I will not show you why, but basically a namespace is, yet again, a set of predefined functions. So if you're only using functions from one namespace, you can define it at the very beginning. But this is a terrible idea because function names may overlap, and then the compiler doesn't know what to do. C++ is basically C, but with functions, and as such it's very similar to C. As such, since it's based off of C, then of every line, well, most lines defining a general function ends with a semicolon. Now, don't worry too much about which lines do. We can usually get away with adding it anywhere. The only exception is comments where you don't have to do it. Now add a semicolon to the end. It still runs. Now, what does return 0 do, you say? Well, you see, this is the exit point for the program. Basically tells the compiler, hey, you don't have to do any more now. So far, so good, but what if we want to ask the user what the name is? Well, simple. Now, we need a variable in order to put it in this. As such, so strings under the standard library as well. You should get used to calling functions based off their library rather than off their name alone. So let's name this string name. For it's going to be holding the user's name based off of what they input. So we're going to use the cin function. Now, let's set this to name. So after the user answers it, we want to tell them hi. So first, let's go over here. /n. This basically tells the compiler, please skip a line. So what's your name? So we get the user's name. So now we want to say, hello, name. So, do you know how we do this? First, we skip a line. Now, we want to say hello to the user. So, name. How is your day? Oh, wait. This should fix it. Now, if not, show potential issues. So, we need to add this. And now, we want to create a new variable. A string as well. Now don't worry about this, it will still compile. Now let's name this how. Now you want to make your descriptions as detailed as possible for variables. The main rule, you cannot set the first character of a variable to a number. It cannot be all numbers. So based off of this, we want to standard library, cin, how. Now, it's really tough to program a full-on AI, especially in C++. As such, we're going to tell them that now so now right click and now you want to click compile. So up in the terminal, the top left, you'll see what's your name. For some reason it's not displaying for me. But now we're able to, now, what if we want to store this information in a file? Head over to lesson.h. You want to include ifstream. Or not ifstream, upstream. But the compiler doesn't want to work with files today. You'll have to check why. So this is your first C++ program. Like and subscribe for the next episode, and comment down below what you want me to cover next. I'm currently working on OpenGL. You can also find me on GitHub. Steve First Space on there too.